Viewer, beware, beware. You're in for a scare. Today, I'm playing Vampire Survivors. The morning light is turning blue. The feeling is bizarre. The night is almost over and still don't know where you are. Shadows keep me pretty, yeah, like a movie star. Daylight makes me feel like Dracula. Now, Vampire Survivors is the progenitor of the for Survivors-like genre. It takes heavy visual inspiration from Castlevania and such. But instead of it being a Metroidvania, it is a Survivors-like. It is, I mean, like R.oboter. It's just kind of just an game where you don't really have to think too much. You can just let the numbers get higher. It's quite, you know, relaxing. It's a game, yes, in the sense that there's progression and there is level ups and such, but it's not really that much skill other than just don't get hit. The character I'm using currently starts with garlic, which is quite good. To be honest, my favorite. Because garlic, man. Damn. Yeah, empty tome. And you can also always, you know, upgrade every item that you have by just picking it up again, every level up. Yeah. It is really very, very simple. I think this is a great game for me to talk about the time I went to Dracula's mansion and got and met Diddy, you know, Sean Diddy Combs. It's crazy. You know, Dracula had this big mansion, so you know that he always had some parties going on or whatever. He's quite known for that. If you're in the right circles, you'd know what I'm talking about. Dracula in his party. There's no party like a Dracula party, man. What Nosferatu would do with the... he is crazy at keg stands, man. You wouldn't believe it, man. Anyways. Yeah, that's good. Anyways, yeah. So I was at this Dracula party. But, you know, right as the going was getting good, Dracula just sacrificed the third virgin of the night. Belmont just comes charging into the castle. Everybody's like, not this guy again. You know, he does this every week. It almost feels like, you know. I mean, you wouldn't know because you're not invited to the parties, but it's kind of like a regular occurrence. That Belmont somehow always comes in every week. You just hope that he doesn't come in at the day where you're at the party, because, you know, you just know that he's gonna do a whole thing about humanity and the evil darkness of vampires and such, even though you're just trying to have a good night. Anyways, Belmont comes in, whipping his whip around, which is, you know, questionable, right? It's a weird weapon choice, I have to say. You know, if you're a hero, it's kind of, you know, expected of you to use a sword and, you know, be courageous and righteous, you know. But no, well, Belmont comes in charging with his whip. Whips it around, you know, whips Dracula a little bit, you know. I'm not supposed to say this, but Dracula kind of enjoys it a little bit. He don't let Dracula hear this, but, you know, it's kind of, you know, we can tell, you know, as people at the party, we always could tell that Dracula had a little thing going for Belmont, you know. But anyways, Belmont comes in charging with his whip, says, "Begone, dark fiends of the night, for I shall banish you from this realm." Which is, you know, classic Belmont, you know, he says that almost every week. Some variation of that, he says. Anyways, everybody's getting pretty bummed out because, oh man, just the third virgin of the night was being, you know, sacrificed and this was gonna be real awesome, but no, Belmont comes in charging in, so already, like, us demonic beings were already, you know, packing up our stuff, getting ready to evade the garlic that he's gonna throw at us, you know. Then Simon comes in, you know, Belmont's friend, and he's like, "Come on, Belmont, do you really have to do this every week? You know, they're just trying to have a good time." So, you know, he mellows out a little bit because, you know, his friend is telling him to just chill a little, which, you know, he really should. But yeah, things cool down after that. It's the first time that Belmont actually joined the party after that. We had to promise that we wouldn't, suck any blood tonight or something like that. It's ridiculous. Of course, we were doing it in the background while he wasn't looking, and there's a pretty huge basement that Belmont doesn't know about, and we got a lot of life sacrifices going on over there. You wouldn't believe it, man. That one time I saw Donald Trump doing sucking the blood out of Jeffrey Epstein, which is crazy, normally they just suck the blood out of children, but this time I guess they're just, I mean, I told them that I wouldn't tell anybody, but seriously, you see that stuff going on and you don't tell anybody, what's wrong with you? Of course you tell somebody, and I'm telling you guys. Anyways, yeah, the party was going pretty alright, but then somehow, you start smelling that smell of wet dog. You're like, oh, is this just like one of those mutts from the local villages? Or is it? And then the werewolf howl came in, and we all like, oh, god damn it, fucking werewolves again. I don't really have that much against werewolves, but it's a bit of a, it's they're just a bit dirty. They're just dirty. Dirty kind of race, not like vampires, not like pure and noble vampires, you just don't I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing against them personally, it's just the way they are, they're just a bit stinky, dirty, Anyways, werewolves come in, want to join the party, and we're already like, oh my god, how did they even hear about this, And then we notice, oh shit, right, it's a full moon tonight, and, right, to be honest, this is kind of on Dracula for planning his big party on a full moon night, he should have really watched out for that, but I guess you can't blame him. He was asleep for the last 1,000 years, so he wouldn't know if it was a full moon tonight. It doesn't matter though, but yeah, we had to leave our dog bowl out for the werewolves and then pretend to let them join in on the party, which, you just have to let them howl at the moon for a bit, and then it's self-regulating almost, But yeah, but the party was coming to an end at the, Belmont was already leaving after saying how he's sick of our dark ways and that we should feel ashamed and such, but, it's just classic Belmont at this point. We didn't really pay much attention to that. Yeah, party was coming to an end, and you know what I saw at the end there? It was Dracula and his son Alucard. They don't actually really get along that much, but I saw them hugging at the end of the day, and was like, oh, that's sweet. Alucard and Dracula, son and a father. It almost made my cold dead heart beat for a little bit, but yeah, that was just a sweet little moment I saw at the end there, for a pretty crazy night. Anyways, as I was driving away on my horse carriages, I mean, what kind of undead would I be if I didn't have my own horse carriage, to be honest, like seriously. Oh, damn it. Now you can try this for your own. Take a dark and selfish road, but if you stay out in the dark for long enough, it may become your home. And now I've seen too many mornings, I hear a warning. Wish I could cut this out of stone. Now I'll do anything I can, won't someone tell me who I am? I used to be a different man. I used to be a different man.